Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today, I guess you could call it a mini story time because I don't really have any advice to give about buying a house. I guess this is just like a heads up of what could happen to you, because this can happen to anybody regardless of if you're getting a new construction or a pre-existing. It can happen to you. So let me tell you how the devil was so busy, like the biggest hater I know type of busy. I almost lost my house. That's what I mean, like so busy. For those who don't know, I was in a car accident about 6 months ago. You tried to take my life. You couldn't. So you tried to take the other thing that I was looking forward to. Yeah, you couldn't take that either, because one thing God don't do is play about me. So yeah, let me tell y'all about how I almost lost my house. So from the jump, with the home loan that I had, which was conventional, I had a conventional loan initially. I had to bring 3% of the sales price to closing. That was my cash to close. Well, that was part of my cash to close. So I had to bring 3% of the sales price to closing, but my builder required 3.5%. Cool. That's no problem. I mean, was it a problem in my head? Yes, just because like I was really proud of my savings account, and I know in my first video I said like money is not a trophy, but my savings account was a trophy to me, and I really didn't want to touch it because that was the most money like I ever saved in my life. Like I was really proud of myself. But whatever. So with my loan, I would have had to bring 3.5% for closing. Cool. I received a credit from my loan company, and I also received down payment assistance through House Charlotte. So in the end, like my closing costs would have been covered. Like if anything, honestly, I don't know what it would have been. I think it would have been about $4,500 that I would have had to bring to closing, which wasn't bad. Like $4,500, I can do that. That's fine. Like, you know, with all the help that I'm getting, like from the credit that they gave me, from my down payment assistance, I wasn't tripping over $4,500. That was the good. We was good. And then it all went downhill. It went all the way downhill. My house didn't appraise the first time. For those who don't know, like by me saying that my house didn't appraise, basically the value of my house didn't match what I was paying for the house. So according to the appraisal, I underappraised. So to them, I'm paying way too much for this house. They trying to get over on me. But I wasn't understanding why my house wasn't appraising, because I understood why the price was what it was. I got upgrades. I got several upgrades, and I also signed my contract at the end of the year for like with new construction properties. With every phase they open up, or every set of lots that they open up, the price goes up. So I signed in December. You know, I'm at the tail end of it. And so according to the comps, my house appraised for $17,500 below my signing price. Which, like I said, I didn't understand because the comps that they used, by comps, I mean the other houses that they used in my neighborhood, like the other houses, that was my floor plan that they used in my neighborhood, and houses around my neighborhood. The comps that they used, I feel like was unfair because those comps, they didn't have my upgrades that I got, and they also didn't they signed their contracts way before I did. Like, these are houses that are already closed on, because the only comps you can use is stuff that's already closed. So these are houses that already closed, which means they signed their contract way before I did, because I'm not even at the closing process yet. So these are people who signed their contract in October and November. So of course their sales price was cheaper than me because they got in before me. They didn't do the upgrades that I did. So I understood, but I didn't comprehend why my appraiser didn't comprehend. And granted, it's not his fault because they put everything about the house, they put everything into this software, so that way it's not biased. But I mean, then again, it kind of is his fault because he didn't add in a few of my upgrades that I did. But it's fine. We're not gonna hold it against him. So finding out my house didn't appraise, I instantly got very discouraged because my house not appraising meant I lost my down payment assistance, and the bank wasn't going to finance my loan unless I brought the difference of the appraisal. So that meant I had to bring the $17,500 plus down payment on the house, which all totaled up to about $28,000 cash to close. And I was instantly discouraged because, like I said, since my house didn't appraise, the bank wasn't going to finance my loan. I lost my down payment assistance, so now I got to pay all my regular closing costs, plus the difference of the appraisal, and that was about $28,000. And that's when my mom and dad was like, this is gonna be yours, because if you don't get this house now, you're gonna pay double what you're paying in these closing costs. You're gonna pay double that when you get back into the market, because as y'all know, this was end of May, early June. The market was trash. I was not going to find a house in Charlotte for what I paid for this house. It was impossible. I would have found a house, but it would not have been what I wanted. And if y'all watched my last video, I wasn't picky, but I was a little picky. And so my mom was like, you're not gonna find anything like this in this price range anytime soon. If we have to help you bring to the table what you can't bring, we'll do that, but you're gonna get this house. And that's when I just had to stop, and I really I had to talk to God. I had to have like a honest, like, you know, people have different definitions of prayer, but I don't feel like I was praying to God. Like, I was literally having a conversation like I'm having with y'all. I was like, okay, God, I know you wouldn't have set me up for this, for me to not have it. You wouldn't have aligned everything in my path. You wouldn't have gave me all of these opportunities that you have given me for me to not have this house. But if this is not the house that is meant for me to have, I know whatever you got for me is going to be great. It's going to blow my mind. It's going to be more than what I can expect. But I'm going to have to exercise my crazy faith. Because 28,000, who? Okay, I'm not going to say who. How many 23-year-olds has 28,000 just laying in their account? And if you do, you know, more power to you. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. But after you spend that $28,000, are you going to have enough to sustain? Because you have to pay the $28,000 at the closing, but then there's moving fees, there's buying stuff for the house. Like, you don't realize how much stuff, like, you think that you got stuff for the house until you actually get to the house and you're like, oh, I need to go buy this, I need to go buy this, I need to go spend this, I need to get that. That's so unrealistic. So I had a little chit chat with the big man upstairs, and I was just like, you know, I came to peace with, if this house is supposed to be mine, it's gonna be mine, and that's what it's gonna be. So my loan officer was like, you know, we can't do the conventional loan, but we can do a FHA loan. If that's what y'all want to do, if y'all want to bring the difference, we gonna have to do it. So initially I'm just like, all right, like, we'll figure out the difference, like, we'll just go that route, because like my mom said, I wasn't gonna find this much house for this price in Charlotte anytime soon. Like, literally no time soon. Like, I would have had to move outside of Charlotte. So she was like, okay, we'll switch the loans, get another appraisal, we'll wait for a few houses to close, then we'll see how much you have to bring. I'm like, okay, cool. So we wait about 3 weeks. We waited for some other houses in the neighborhood to close, and then we did another appraisal, and my house appraised for $500 less than my signing price. I was excited. I was happy because, you know, 500 less, I can do that. 17.5 less, I can't do that. But 500 less, like, that's something that I can do. That's reasonable. So with switching my loan and losing my down payment assistance, I was gonna have to bring the closing costs plus the difference of my appraisal. But I'm like, you know, that's more than I expected to spend, but that's also easy to do. Like, I could do that easy. Okay, I said easy real strong there. That was a little overzealous, but it was something that I could do. So yeah, that's what happened. That can very well happen to you, because like I said, like, you can get multiple appraisals, but you know, it all goes into, they put it into like this system, and it does the appraisal for you, so there's no bias with whoever you get to appraise your home. So I did have to pay for 2 appraisals. I want to say I paid like either close to 500, maybe a little over 500. Maybe it was 500. All I know, around 500. I had to pay around $500 both times for my appraisals, but it was well worth. Well, I say well worth it, but it was it was worth it, because if I would have gave up on the house and not got a second appraisal, I wouldn't be here. So, like, here in the house. That was dramatic. I wouldn't be here in the house. But yeah, that's what happened. It can happen to you. I hope it doesn't happen to you. Like, I hope your home buying experience is so much more pleasant than mine, because it started off great. It started off, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 started off great. By the end of my process, I was like, oh, this is so ghetto. 4 out of 10. I do not want to do this again, even though I'm going to do this again. Oh, y'all stressed me out. Y'all stressed me out. And granted, I had to go through a little bit more stress because I had an accident. So I had to rework some papers, and I had to rework, I had to keep proving to them that I had the means to get the house. But we'll talk about that in my next video. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please, it would mean the world to me. If you like this video, please like it. If you don't like this video, tell me why you don't like this video. And leave me a comment. Talk to me, because I reply to all my comments. So leave me a comment, or you can DM me on Instagram if you have any more questions. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye.